Hey guys, Blaumagier here, and we're back with more Let's Play Dragon Quest 1. On the last episode, we spent a bunch of time farming and getting to know the local enemies around Garai. In this episode, I'm going to kind of sequence break in order to get 3,000 gold for a piece of armor, which will be the last piece of actual armor that we buy in the game. So, like I said, it's kind of sequence breaking, but not really. The only reason I say it's sequence breaking is because nobody's told us to go here yet. However, technically, nobody ever really tells you to go here. And this dungeon is completely optional. Completely optional. You're only slightly hinted to go here at any point during the game. I'm not sure which town it is, but some guy said something like, a warrior should have a ring. And that's basically the main goal of this dungeon, is to get the warrior's ring. Alright, now this purple goop here, that's a swamp. You'll lose 1 hit point every time you take a step through it. Or it might be 2 hit points, I can't remember. In the NES version, they appear as black with little yellow dots. And I think it's similar to that in the Game Boy Color version. Anyway, this is the dungeon. However, I forgot to get a torch. So, I guess I'll just cut until I get a torch. Alright, see you guys in a minute. Alright, on my way back to go get a torch, I leveled up. Level 8. Just a few stat increases, nothing important really. Alright, see you guys in a minute. And we are back. I went ahead and picked up 4 medical herbs while I was out there. And I stayed at the inn since I leveled up. Anyway. Here we are, the first dungeon, the Rocky Cave. Now, these maps can get a little bit confusing. So, I'll finish that thought after this battle. Alright, here we have Meta, which I know in Dragon Quest IX would be called a lunatic. Pretty easy enemy, to be quite honest. Nothing really threatening from them. Right, now, what I was saying about the maps is that you can actually find these maps at Dragon's Den. Just be careful which version of the map you're looking at, because the NES version has different maps than the Super Nintendo and Game Boy Color version. Otherwise, you can find the maps at Dragon's Den. And I'll be honest, I'm using a map from Dragon's Den right now. Just because this particular cave has a lot of twists and turns, and if you don't know where you're going, you can very easily, literally, be walking in circles. And that was probably one of the bigger challenge factors for this game back in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, was the fact that, you know, maps weren't readily available and it was easy to get lost in the dungeons. I remember the first time I tried playing the NES version, I got to the cave of Erdrick, as it's called in that version, and yeah, I think your torch actually does run out in there, and mine did, and I could not find my way out, no matter what I did. I mean, as a kid, I would have stood no chance playing the Super NES version of Dragon Quest V. So I know there's one part near the beginning where you gotta walk through complete darkness, and you have no idea where you're going. I could barely handle that as an adult. But anyway, I'll show you where all the treasure chests are in here, and the route that you can take that does not require a magic key. There is a route you can take that uses a magic key. And I just went the wrong way. Anyways, there's a route you can take that requires a magic key, but it's really a waste because you can completely avoid it. And if I'm not mistaken, the original version, the NES version, either didn't have the use of a key at all or absolutely required it. One of the two. I've only played through the NES version all the way once, and it actually wasn't all that long ago. I just don't remember. My memory isn't the best. But anyways, the reason why I'm going through this cave for gold is because there are several treasure chests that have money in them, and there's one that can have the most expensive item in the game, which is worth like 1,000 gold or something like that. Well, not really the most expensive item in the game, but I mean the most expensive item you will find in a treasure box. If you're playing the NES version of this game, this cave is a great way to make money because the treasure chests respawn every time you leave the cave. The Drachima. This is basically a beefed up version of the Drachmage, or Magidraki, whatever they call it. Except this one can heal itself as it displayed. Really not threatening though. 674 gold. That's why I said this is a great place for money. Now, I'm not sure if the treasure chests respawn in the Super Nintendo version or Game Boy Color version, but truthfully, I'm not even going to worry about it. Alright, I got a torch to replace the one I used. Pretty soon I won't even be needing torches. I think at level 9 I will learn Radiant. And the most threatening thing from those guys is if they actually cast Fireball. But we've got plenty of MP to heal with. So yeah, just wandering through the dark, picking up a few treasure chests. Alright, the wizard. This guy can actually be pretty tough at this point in the game. He's got the same fireball spell, but he's pretty fast, and he'll take more than 2 hits to kill. He could potentially get 3 fireballs off on you. And that's really bad. Alright, I forgot about that. I guess I wasted my time farming for a shield. Oh well. It made me able to go through this cave a little bit easier, since that's our only piece of armor at this point. Alright, the Warrior's Ring. This is the item we came here for. I'm not exactly sure what this item does. You equip it the same way as you do the Dragon Skill, though. I've seen people say that it makes weaker enemies run away from you, and I've seen people say that it increases your strength a little. I don't know if either is true. Alright, here we have a Droll. Nothing really special about them. They will take a couple of hits to kill if you don't get a critical like I just did. But other than that, there's really nothing to worry about with them. Oh, this Drachima wants to be a jerk and just sit there and heal himself. It's about as bad as any Dragon Quest game where you fight a heal slime. And he just sits there healing himself, but you can't kill him because you can't do enough damage to him in a single hit. Alright, skeleton. This is easily the most powerful enemy in this dungeon. He will take a couple of hits to kill, and he's going to hit you hard. If you can kill him in 2 hits or less, then you should be alright. And these enemies only appear on this floor, which is the 2nd floor. Alright. I think this is the first one of these I've gotten. Strength seeds, magic nuts, other items like this, they are introduced in, I think, Dragon Quest V for the Super Nintendo. Just go ahead and use them. They just increase your stats. And since you only have one character throughout the entire game, there is no reason whatsoever to hang on to them. Once you get all that, you're ready to leave this cave. Now, the item that I was talking about that can be in one of the treasure chests here, and I'm pretty sure this treasure chest does respawn in the Super Nintendo version. It's called the Cursed Necklace, and it sells for like 1,600 gold or something like that. It serves no purpose other than to just be sold for a lot of money. And it's a pretty low chance of getting it in the NES version. Significantly higher chance of getting it in the Super NES and Game Boy Color versions though. And it'll really help you get money. I didn't get it this time around. I think it would have been in the 2nd chest that I got on that floor, but I'm not entirely certain on that. I'm hoping to get out of this dungeon before it is time to cut this video. I should be able to, though. There's really no threat once you get off of that 2nd floor. So if you're running low on MP and medical herbs, you can rest easy once you get back up to the 1st floor. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that you can actually tell what floor you're on by the music. I mean, even if it gets confusing as to what floor you're on because you've gone through so many different staircases, the music will be distinctly different from every other floor. And this applies to all dungeons, actually. Just a nifty little way of keeping track of where you are. Alright, leveled up. Level 9. And I learned Radiant. And we are almost out of here. However, I'm almost out of time as well. In fact, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and just cut this right here. But I'm at the staircase anyways, just around this corner here. So, if you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, tell your friends about it, and I will see you guys later.